I am Radhika Fox, the Principal Deputy Assistant Administrator for the Office of Water at the Environmental Protection Agency. And I want to welcome you to this event where we are going to be celebrating the closing of a $97 million EPA WIFIA loan to Louisville and Jefferson County Metropolitan Sewer District. You know, while we're doing this event virtually right now because of public health issues, I have had the opportunity to visit Louisville a couple of times, and it is truly a great water city. And it sits on the Ohio River, and water is deeply intertwined with the economic vitality of the region. So it's just a thrill for the EPA to be able to join this event. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. We're first going to hear from EPA Administrator Michael Regan, and then we will hear from Kentucky Secretary of Energy and Environment, Rebecca Goodman, then Louisville MSD Executive Director, Tony Parrott, who actually just joined Administrator Regan last week in a wonderful discussion about the American Jobs Plan. And then we will hear from Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer. So with that amazing lineup, let's just get to it. It is my great honor to introduce my boss, our fearless leader at the EPA, Administrator Michael Regan.
Well, thank you, Radhika, and thank you to the entire team in Louisville for hosting this event. Secretary Goodman, Mayor Fischer, Executive Director Parrott, it's so great to be with all of you. And thank you all for joining us for this exciting announcement. EPA's water infrastructure program has shown time and time again that we can partner with local communities to improve public health, protect the environment, and create jobs while setting the stage for long-term economic development. Together, we can also make progress in closing the water equity gap for communities in need while addressing the climate crisis. Working closely with our state and local partners, EPA's water infrastructure financing program has a track record for success. Since the inception, EPA's state revolving funds has provided more than $189 billion in financial assistance to nearly 60,000 water quality infrastructure and drinking water projects. And as of today, EPA will have closed 49 WIFIA loans that are providing over $9 billion in credit assistance to help finance nearly $20 billion for water infrastructure projects while saving customers over $4 billion. So I'm proud to announce the Commonwealth of Kentucky's first ever WIFIA loan. This is a big, big deal. Congratulations to everyone at Louisville MSD for securing this $97 million loan to upgrade the oldest and largest wastewater treatment plant in Kentucky. Through this loan, Louisville MSD will implement state-of-the-art improvements for processing solids with the capacity to produce 40,000 dry tons of exceptional quality biosolids per year for beneficial reuse, reducing reliance on landfilling. The improvements will also allow the facility to create energy from biosolids, helping to convert a waste product to beneficial reuse while saving MSD an estimated $15 million. The loan will also help maintain affordable wastewater services for MSD's 751,000 customers. These numbers are amazing. Announcements like today's illustrate how environmental protection and economic prosperity are not mutually exclusive, but they actually go hand in hand. This is a cornerstone of President Biden's American Job Plan. Through the state revolving loan funds and WIFIA, EPA is supporting projects to remove lead from drinking water, improve wastewater management by reducing combined sewer overflows, upgrading biosolids processing for beneficial reuse, and enhancing and strengthening the resiliency of water supplies and our water infrastructure. At the same time, we're spurring job creation and economic development across the country. We estimate that in the last 2 years alone, the drinking water SRFs and the clean water SRFs have created over 300,000 jobs. And the agency's 49 WIFIA loans are creating another 49,000 jobs. The Louisville MSD project is estimated alone to create more than 600 jobs. The American Jobs Plan would build on these successes that we're seeing collectively by proposing an unprecedented $111 billion in investments in water infrastructure across the country. That investment could create hundreds of thousands of additional jobs while revitalizing America's aging water infrastructure for the next century. The Americans Jobs Plan proposed removing 100% of lead pipes and service lines, which can cause irreversible and lifelong health effects, especially in our children, including decreased IQ, reduced focus, and lower academic achievement overall. Eliminating all of these antiquated lead lines would protect the health and safety of future generations. It would also benefit communities of color and low-income communities that are disproportionately exposed to lead. And to achieve this historic goal, the plan also includes $45 billion that would go to EPA's Drinking Water State Revolving Fund and water infrastructure improvements for the Nation Acts grant. You know, this jobs plan would also upgrade and modernize America's drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater systems while tackling new water contaminants and support clean water infrastructure across rural America through a $56 billion grant program or loan program that would scale up these existing successful programs demonstrated today. And it would allow EPA to continue supporting investments in our future workforce, who are critical and essential to ensuring Americans have safe drinking water and wastewater services. And with these strategic partnerships, investing in water infrastructure can also help advance environmental justice and equity by closing the water equity gap. While we're fortunate to have centralized water systems that serve most of our American population, we must address systemic inequities that affect communities of color and low-income communities disproportionately. We must strive to ensure that infrastructure improvements reach the very people, families, and neighborhoods that need them the most, and that our efforts support water affordability. In Louisville, the savings provided by EPA's WIFIA loan will help Louisville MSD meet its water affordability goals. Located in the West End community, improvements at the Morris Foreman Water Quality Treatment Center will also improve local environmental conditions, including reducing odors. Our work is not complete until everyone in the United States of America has access to safe water that meets our standards, no matter the color of their skin, how much money they have in their pockets, or the zip code they live in. And our experience shows that investing in water is one of the best decisions we can make as a nation for public health, for environmental protection, for short-term job creation and stimulus, and for laying the foundation for future economic vitality in all of our communities. So congratulations to Louisville MSD. And thank you for your commitment to improving water infrastructure and for protecting the health of the community which you serve. We are so excited for you and elated about this partnership. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Administrator Regan, for your remarks. And now it's my honor to introduce Kentucky Secretary for Energy and the Environment, Rebecca Goodman.
Well, thank you all for inviting me to be with you today. On behalf of Governor Fischer, I really want to congratulate Louisville MSD and the Morris Foreman Water Treatment Center on this project. I also want to thank our partners at EPA for working with us to fulfill this incredible opportunity through WIFIA. It's the first such finance project in the Commonwealth. And, you know, from day one, Governor Fischer has committed himself to building Team Kentucky, a Commonwealth that's focused on the common good, to finding innovative solutions that protect and improve our environment, that address sustainability, climate change, and energy resilience. And as part of Team Kentucky, the Energy and Environment Cabinet is developing an updated energy strategy that's going to leverage technology and innovation and focus on affordability, reliability, and resiliency. Our utility systems are important lifelines for our communities. They provide clean drinking water and essential wastewater treatment. They generate the electricity that heats and cools our homes and powers our economy. And All this keeps our lives moving forward. We've seen the effects of more frequent natural and man-made disasters, the power outages from the ice, snow, and flooding of the past few months. In Eastern Kentucky alone, more than 150,000 customers were impacted. And these outages impacted drinking water and wastewater facilities all across the state. During these recent weather events, we were in the Emergency Operations Center here in Frankfort, and we learned firsthand just how interdependent our critical facilities and our energy infrastructure are, and how vulnerable our communities are to the effects of a changing climate. Our energy assurance plan is just the beginning of a series of projects that's going to explore the intersection of energy vulnerabilities at critical facilities with our disaster mitigation planning. We're exploring how our communities can better assess how vulnerable they are to power outages at critical facilities and exploring how they can plan and identify ways to mitigate that risk. But obviously, we can't predict when the next event will occur, but we are beginning to strategize to overcome some of those inefficiencies that prevent us from being more effective. The Biden administration has made it clear that climate considerations will be an important element of the country's energy policy and national security. And we're prepared to do a climate risk assessment that would analyze the statewide and economic security impacts of climate change to Kentucky, and we're going to use GIS mapping to highlight these climate risk areas. Obviously, these like-minded efforts continue on a local level. This project is a great opportunity to provide environmental benefits, energy recovery, and more sustainable solutions. It harnesses the innovative production of digester gas and energy recovery and reduces energy demand, reduces the amount of solids entering our landfills, and increases beneficial reuse. It improves the reliability of wastewater treatment and the discharge of high-quality water to the Ohio River. In short, this project checks all of the boxes, and it does so using funding that leverages ratepayer dollars in ways that were previously unavailable. Although this is the first Kentucky project under this program, we hope that this tool will continue to be utilized across the Commonwealth. So congratulations today to Louisville MSD and the Louisville community for leading by example. And we thank you for allowing us to be a part of the celebration today.
Thank you, Secretary Goodman, and what inspiring work you are doing at the state. And yes, I agree. Let this be one of many WIFIA loans in the Commonwealth. So speaking of a project that checks all the boxes, as you said, it's my honor to now introduce Tony Parrott, who is the Executive Director of the Louisville MSD. Tony, it's wonderful to see you.
Thank you, Radhika, and also thank you, Secretary Goodman, and also Administrator Regan. We are so happy and so grateful to have this opportunity to be able to close the US EPA WIFIA loan. And a lot of folks deserve a lot of credit. There's been a lot of effort gone into this. I want to thank, obviously, Governor Beshear and Mayor Fischer, and most importantly, the MSD Board of Directors, who has really empowered us to move forward and move down this path in this new innovative way to be able to finance projects. I also want to thank a few staff members, Zonetta English, who is our MSD Strategic Initiatives and Project Delivery Director, Alex Novak, who is the MSD Director of Water Quality Treatment during this project, and Mr. Brad Good, our CFO, and Ms. Paula Purifoy, our MSD General Counsel. All these folks work very diligently with the EPA team to make sure that we could get this across the finish line. So thank all of you for your help in doing this. The MSD Morris Foreman Water Quality Treatment Facility went into service in 1958. It is the largest and the oldest water quality treatment plant in the state of Kentucky, and our current peak capacity is 270 million gallons per day. Unfortunately, the solids treatment and handling process at that facility has reached its end of useful life, necessitating us currently to landfill all of our biosolids, and obviously that is something that we do not want to do. So the EPA WIFIA loan is a source in our financial tool bucket that will allow us to support innovative state-of-the-art improvements at this facility, which is 62 years old. Will allow us to continue to develop dewatered sludge to meet the Class A biosolid standards, allow us to be innovative in the way that we generate energy, moving the facility closer to energy independence, and generating revenue in the future as we move to generate monies from the sale of excess power back to the grid. All of these benefits are made possible because of this WIFIA loan. This is a win, not only for MSD, but for the environment and for the community. Our ratepayers will see a benefit because we are able to finance half of the project costs with this WIFIA loan, which will save $15 million in interest over the life of the loan. And so we simply could not get a better rate from any other lending institution that we have access to. So that's what this EPA WIFIA loan has opened up for us. It's a win for the local community with project construction and operations that will create 600 local jobs. 600 local jobs and more than $850,000 of local community investment via the MSD Community Benefits Program. The improvements to our solids handling process will result in a win for our customers and the environment for generations to come. So thank you, EPA. Thank you, Administrator Regan. And I'm going to go ahead and say Assistant Administrator for the Office of Water, Radhika Fox. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony, and congratulations again to Louisville MSD. And now we're going to hear from Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer, who is also serving as the president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
Hello, everybody. Mayor Greg Fischer here. I join our fantastic MSD team, community partners, and the EPA leadership in celebrating the EPA's WIFIA loan to help make much-needed improvements to the Morris Foreman Water Quality Treatment Center finally a reality. This is a necessary project for our entire community. As Kentucky's largest plant of its kind, the Morris Foreman Water Quality Treatment Center is a vital piece of our local infrastructure. We continue to hear frightening stories from across the nation about the cost of failing to keep up our infrastructure, and we can't let that happen here. Morris Foreman is also our oldest water treatment plant, and its process just isn't cut out for 2021. And not only does this project address deferred maintenance, it will significantly increase energy production and reuse, bringing it closer to energy independence while improving reliability. That's great news for our consumers. That's a big deal. For these reasons, we're thankful to the EPA for providing support to make that happen and for the work the team does every day for our nation's and our city's environment. Our local environment benefits, and so do the great residents of West Louisville, a community that has long been denied needed investments from historic practices such as urban renewal and redlining. We've been working in my administration for 10 years to reverse their harmful effects. And while we've helped attract over $1 billion in investments to West Louisville, we know much more is needed. This project, the modernized and environmentally sound processes it allows, and the estimated 600 local construction jobs it creates provide a great boost. So again, thank you, EPA, and thank you, MSD, for everything you do.
Well, what a wonderful day to celebrate the true innovation and creativity of Louisville MSD. I also think today's announcement highlights the power of the local and federal partnership, that by these kinds of partnerships that we're demonstrating today, we can make tremendous progress for our communities. And a little sneak peek, in a couple of weeks, the EPA will be announcing our next round of WIFIA and SWIFIA loans or availability of loan funds available. So it's going to be hopefully more communities really celebrating the clean water wins that we're going to be seeing here in Louisville. With that, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And again, congratulations to Louisville.
Thank you, Radhika.